Different judges and different courts will call it different things, but one common type of court date that we see is something called a pretrial conference. A lot of clients ask us, well, what does that mean? Does it mean I'm going to trial because it has the word trial in it? So I want to break down what a pretrial conference actually is. A pretrial conference, or if a court decides to call it an arraignment or a dispositional date, it depends on which judge it's in front of. But basically, a pretrial conference is a scheduled opportunity for your defense attorney to have a talk with the DA about your case, because let's be honest, a lot of the times the DAs aren't able to get back to us, or there's some things that we need to show in person, or it's sometimes used as, hey, this is the time that you're going to get together and talk. Make sure you get it done, because there's no way to say, well, we just couldn't make it work because it's scheduled on the court's calendar. Now, for all intents and purposes, a pretrial date is just a scheduled, hey, both sides have to talk to each other date. What that means if you're a criminal defendant is often, if you have an attorney, I like to call it a show up and look pretty date. All you have to do is show up with your attorney, sit there politely, wait until your case is called, and let your attorney do their job. It can be frustrating because you think, well, if it's just a date where my attorney's going to talk to the DA, why do I have to show up? There are a number of reasons. One is if something important is going to happen that date, you do have to be present. So if you're given a really good plea deal that's only available that day, you want to make sure you're present in court to accept that. But also, judges tend to use it as a check-in just to see, hey, this person is listening to my orders, they're complying with what I'm telling them to do, and they're able to kind of keep tabs on you without actually having to call you or follow up that way. So when you see a pretrial date, especially if you're a client of Right Law Group, if you see a pretrial date, we will tell you whether or not it's a pretrial that you have to go to or one that you don't have to go to. But if you do have to show up for a pretrial date, just know, usually you're not going to have to do anything. You're usually not going to have to say anything. Your attorney's going to be talking to the district attorney and moving the needle forward on your case. But for all intents and purposes, for you, it's a show up and look pretty date. So wear your clothes that you would go to see your grandmother or go to church in. Make sure you look presentable for the judge, and rest easy knowing that your attorney's got your back.